Dr. Aaron Hancock's going to be on the show today. And the reason Dr. Aaron Hancock, he's a chiropractor, he's on the show today is because, Elijah, about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, we found that he had an interruption in his nervous system from the grief and trauma that he had experienced from losing his dad. And we'll go through that a little bit, but I just want to remind you that this body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And the scripture says that my body is the temple, the very sanctuary of the Holy Spirit, who lives within me, whom I have received as a gift from God. And that's in 1 Corinthians, and I can put that on the screen for your reference tonight. But I just wanted to remind you all that you have to treat the whole body, the mind, and the spirit. If Elijah wouldn't have been treated, he was in fight or flight, and Dr. Aaron will explain that a little bit more. But did it help you to get better with your body? Not only, working with grief and trauma and things like that and therapists, but you had to also take care of your body. Was that big when you finally got help with that?
Yes.
That made a big difference.
Very big.
And you say to me a lot of times, he can actually tell and see when kids are in fight or flight now. Can't you? Because you've been there. And I really think that's why God has brought us through all these twists and turns to help others like yourselves. And we just hope this information is very helpful. You're going to get to see a horse get adjusted, a dog. Elijah's going to get to change a tire. And this is actually a 2-part series because we couldn't fit it all of the great information and content in just one show. So we want to welcome you to the show. And I just wanted to put that foundation out there that you have to take care of yourself. So stay tuned.
Health has to be our biggest priority, because without our health, nothing else works. So, that's our whole goal in the office, is to make sure the whole family's healthy.
Yeah.
Gotta take care of yourself.
And so explain chiropractic care, because a lot of people don't really understand why it's so important.
Yeah, so chiropractic care, a lot of people think it's a neck pain, back pain, headaches, and yes, it works really well for that. But the biggest thing that chiropractic deals with is your nervous system, and your nervous system controls every single part of your body. It controls every other system in your body, and by adjusting the spine, that directly impacts the nervous system, and it opens up the pathway between the brain and the body. And when our brain's talking to our body at 100%, that's when we're 100% healthy. And so that's what chiropractic care is truly all about, is establishing communication between the brain and the body so that you can function and heal the way you're designed to.
That's awesome.
Move in that left hip, so that was good.
So why is it great? I mean, we know for people, but what does this do for the horse?
Well, a lot of times, especially if you're riding them, you'll notice they don't want to cut one way or the other, or they start bucking a little bit if you're trying to turn one way or the other. They're sore in the back, and just like Kaylee said, slipping on the ice, getting kicked by other horses, things like that.
Putting a saddle on your horse.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If your back hurts and you put a saddle on it, I don't know, that could
Right.
hello.
Yeah, exactly.
In 2012, we felt like we lost our happily ever after when my husband
And my dad died of a brain disease 2 days before Christmas. I was only 6 years old.
There have been a lot of twists and turns on our path to healing. Now we are on a quest to help others like you get on your own path to healing and teach everyone who watches how to do James 1:27, that God calls pure religion in His sight, which is to care for the widows and fatherless in their times of distress.
Hi, welcome to the Path to Healing show. This is Elijah Boone and
Tracy Boone.
hi. So, we have some very, very
Cool things happening today,
yes, we do.
We have Dr. Aaron Hancock in the house. We are at Trinity Pines Ranch. We are doing some really cool things, and we're on this awesome swing. Elijah goes, I want to go sit on the swing.
Hey, look at this.
I know, look. I mean, right? And so anyway, Dr. Aaron Hancock's here. He's going to be talking to us about the importance of health and well-being, which is kind of perfect. We're here in January, and that's the month where everybody is always on our mind to take better care of ourselves. And so stay tuned. You're going to get to see a dog adjusted.
Our little Jazzy.
Yeah, you're going to meet our little dog, Jazz.
So stay tuned, and we have a lot coming up for you next.
Hi, and welcome back to the Path to Healing show. I'm Tracy Boone, and I'm here with Dr. Aaron Hancock. Good to see you. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thanks
I love
for
it. I
having
love
me.
it that you're here. We're at this beautiful ranch at Trinity Pines Ranch, and we have a treat for you today. You not only get to see a horse adjusted, but you also get to see our little sweet Jazz. Come here, girl. Come here. Little sweet Jazz adjusted. Now, Dr. Aaron, why is it important for people to know that there's other avenues to keep your animals and they're part of your family? You know, why is it so important to know this? And what is so different about chiropractic care instead of just regular veterinarian Western medicine?
Well, you know, it's just like humans. There's other alternatives to doing drugs and surgery. And so, you know, we know drugs only cover up problems. They don't necessarily fix something. So, you know, taking care of the animals just like you take care of yourselves is important.
So you're going to get to watch this right now, and he's going to go ahead and adjust Jazz. She's had this done quite a bit. There was a time when Jazz's tail was bent, her hips were bad, and as you know, labs, and you can go ahead and talk to him about what's happening there. Labs have some problems with their hips and things, so go ahead if you have anything you want to say, Doc.
Yeah, so what I'm feeling for is motion in the joints. So she's restricted up here on the left in the upper part of her neck, so just make a light adjustment there, and down here in the lower part of her neck on her right. And those nerves going into the shoulders, that can cause a limp, things like that.
And I tell you, the first time Jazz came to Dr. Aaron, she's like, I don't know who this guy is. And now she just kind of stands there for him because she absolutely loves him. She always knows that she's going to feel better. And it's made a huge difference in her life. And she's 10 years old. And she's doing great. I run her almost every day. And she's got an amazing quality of life. But go ahead if you're seeing something.
Yeah, so I just checked the leg lengths. Her right leg is longer, so her pelvis is rotated here. So we're just going to put that back. There you go. And this one can get a little bit tender. She might come around just a bit. No, she did great. So and then we're just going to give her a tail stretch here at the end. And this just stretches out the whole spine. Usually they pull against me. They kind of like this here.
Yeah, you've actually told us how to do that. Mm-hmm. And I know that sometimes we do that for her, but you definitely want to know what you're doing and just make sure that someone's instructing you to do it, right?
Yeah.
How do they find a veterinarian or a chiropractor that does animals? Is there a way to find that or locate that?
Yeah, a lot of people have it listed on their website. But there's a couple websites. You can look at the AVCA, that's the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association. A lot of doctors listed on there. So, all right, let's go ahead and walk her just a little bit.
All right. I just want to stay in the camera to make sure. What are you looking for her to do?
So, you know, obviously, if she had an issue before, we would have looked at her walk to see if she had an abnormal gait, something like that. But a lot of times dogs will shake after the adjustment and just let you know everything's set in. Horses, as you'll see here in a little bit, they kind of drop their head, eyes get real relaxed. But she was other than the hip stuff, she was doing pretty good there. So
you're good?
Yep, she's good.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. You know, why does Western medicine not understand this? I mean, the doctor didn't even know to screen for the child that's going through grief. And what I understand is grief and trauma is a big deal, and every child should be checked when they're going through this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, here's the thing is, you know, I definitely believe that every doctor, no matter what kind of doctor, wants to help their
Absolutely.
patients. You know, the problem comes in is what tools do they have in their handbag?
Right.
You know, and obviously that doctor, probably the only thing he knew to do for Elijah was either drugs or surgery, you know, if needed. And so, you know, there's a lot of other options out there, and that's the key is looking other places. You know, there's absolutely a time and a place for drugs and surgery. You know, they can be life-saving in many situations.
Right. Saved my life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but it's one of those things. There should be a hierarchy. Drugs and surgery should always come last. If you can address a problem naturally and fix it, that's always going to be better for the body.
So I know that your heart is in this, and even, I mean, I know earaches are a big deal for kids.
Right.
Is this chiropractor help with that? Chiropractic care?
Yeah, you know, it's not, chiropractic doesn't look to address just symptoms. Well, it's all about just helping the body, like I said, heal naturally and function naturally. So it doesn't matter what symptom the body's expressing. Your body's smart. For example, if you spike a fever, that's because your body know if the core temperature increases, it's killing the virus or the bacteria that's in it. And so your symptoms are just your body's way of trying to bring itself back to health.
Okay.
And they're warning signs, letting you know that something's going on. And so it doesn't matter what symptom it is. If the brain's talking to the body in a better manner, you're always going to be healthier. And that's what the chiropractic adjustment does.
That's awesome. So I know if it was your wish, would you have every single person get checked?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I practice what I preach. I get adjusted once a week, whether I feel like I need it or not. I try to stay active. I work out a lot, but even my job, I'm leaned over patients all day.
You work really hard
adjusting them, and that takes a toll on my body too. So
it does.
So I go and see my chiropractor once a week.
That's
and
awesome.
I adjust my kids and a family once a week as well.
What's the earliest you would adjust a child?
As soon as they're born. We check them as soon as they're born. The birth itself can be very traumatic, especially if it's a C-section, or like in my case, they used forceps on me, and it tore the muscles on one side of my neck. I had torticollis really severely, and I grew up with a lot of health challenges because of that.
And it wasn't necessary if it would have been caught early, right?
Yeah, correct. My parents were just told, just, massage his neck, he'll be fine. But you can talk to my parents. I was a terrible baby. I had colic all the time, ear infections, strep throat, tubes in my ears, and, very, very sick as a kid.
Yeah. Well, is there a different way that you adjust babies? Because I think people are probably picturing, how do you adjust a baby?
Right. Yeah. So
I've seen it done, but I just want to try and help him picture this for you.
Yeah. So with infants, especially newborns, it's very, very light pressure to the spine. A lot of times we'll even use our pinkies, especially in the upper part of the neck. There's not the big pops and cracks that you might associate if you've been to the chiropractor or heard about it. It's, like I said, very, very light pressure. Their bones move very easily. And generally they love it too. I've had a lot of moms bring their babies in fussy. We adjust them, and boom, stops the crying, or So yeah, absolutely. There's nothing scary about it.
Not at all.
Most of the time, we just put the baby right on mom's stomach or chest and just work on them right there.
That's awesome. It is really incredible to watch, and I know a lot of people that have done it. I've done it, and one other thing, how do they find you?
So
and we'll have your graphics and all this awesome stuff on the screen, but in the meantime, how do they find you?
Yeah, so my website is www.auroraColoradoChiro.com, or you can always call the office 720-242-6006.
And what's the name of your practice?
Discover Health and Wellness Aurora.
So let's say they live in Minnesota. Excuse us. One moment, please.
That is a very large photo.
Isn't that funny? We're going to just keep it rolling while we move Can you move her? Because she's right in front. We're almost done. She's so cute. I think she really wants you to work on her.
Yeah, exactly.
She knows who you are, doesn't she? It's so cute. So the last thing.
Yes.
So the last question is let's say you live in Minnesota and they want to have someone like you. How do they find somebody like you?
So there's several websites out there for structural correction chiropractic. There's the other thing too is I'm always happy to help people find other chiropractors. I've got a good network on Facebook.
I know you do.
Like that. But yeah, you want to look for somebody that's doing corrective care. So CBP, chiropractic biophysics, that would be something to look at. Or Pedabon correction.
We'll put a graphic up. I'll get some information from you too.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's a lot of information out there, but there's pretty much docs anywhere you live.
And you can also go to info@icanfinishwell.com and you can send me an email, and I'm sure Dr. Aaron would be more than happy to help us figure something out, no matter where you're at. And so up next, you are going to be doing something really cool with Elijah in Words of Wisdom. Do you want to tell everybody what you're doing? Because here's what happens. I interview these amazing men, and I say, Elijah's on this quest to do Words of Wisdom for other kids like him. And then I asked the men, I said, if this was your son, what would you want to teach him? What would you teach him for Reed, Elijah's dad, And so what did you come up with?
So we did the changing the tire.
So Elijah got to change a tire. And it's not, I know Elijah can go on YouTube and learn how to change a tire, but there's something about an experience with another guy, isn't there?
Oh, there is, and even just getting your hands on it and doing it yourself. You can watch all the videos on things or read about it, but until you actually experience it yourself, that's when things stick and you remember it.
Can you encourage some men out there to, if they see a kid like Elijah, to maybe step up and maybe do something that might be something like this, encourage them, because it was a pretty cool experience to teach someone else's kid that doesn't have that opportunity. What was that like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I would just say, think about what kind of wisdom you got from your dad or your grandpa or, your uncle, any kind of male influence in your life. And, a lot of times we take that for granted if they're still in our lives or we grew up with them, especially as a kid. So
yeah,
absolutely, it's important to, raise up the next generation correctly.
And there's 19 million of them out there just in this country. So anyway, we encourage you in that, and stay tuned.
Welcome to Words of Wisdom with Elijah Boone and Dr. Aaron Hancock. So, Dr. Aaron, what are we doing today?
Gonna learn how to change a tire today.
Awesome.
Have you ever changed a tire before?
No.
All right. Well, so first thing, if you're on the road, obviously put your flashers on so other cars can see you're pulled over, and put your emergency brake on. So we've already put the emergency brake on. Biggest thing is that if you look at the jack down here, so you want to put the jack on the frame of the truck or on something solid, not on the body. Okay. And first thing you're going to do, go ahead and start loosening these lug nuts here. Got the wrench right here. You want to loosen the lug nuts while the truck's still on the ground. So I think that's wrong. Let's see here. Let's try that one. There you go. That's the size. So might be pretty tight. So what you can do is just step on the wrench here. There you go. Get that first one going. Okay. Now go to the next one. Same thing. You may want to turn that sideways again so you can step on it and use some leverage that way. There you go.
There we go.
There it is. 2 more. Alright, now that we got them loose, you can go ahead and start jacking the tire off the ground here. Okay, now go ahead and spin those off there. Show you a little trick here. If you hold it like this, just hold the one end and you can just spin it like that. It comes off real fast. All the way off.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah. Alright, so now that you got all those off, set those to the side. Obviously we'd have our spare tire pulled off the back there, but because this is a truck, these tires are going to be pretty heavy. You just want to slide. Sometimes you have to kick the tire a little bit to loosen it. Let's see here. This one's on there good. Get everything. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, you slide that off. So if you have somebody to help you, obviously good to help you line it back up. But you can also stick your foot under it here and kind of use your foot as a there you go. New tire back on. Now go ahead and put one on to hold it there. Okay. Now go ahead and start putting those back on. Too many guys out there now, Elijah, don't even know how to change a tire. They just call the tow truck. So good thing to know.
Especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere and the wait
Yep.
time is about 3 hours.
Or someday when you're on a date with a pretty girl. Calling the tow truck is not going to score you points, trust me. You got to know how to do these things. All right.
Or even if you're in old school and you like changing your tires on your own.
Yep. Go ahead and spin those down. Now when you're tightening these, so just get it snug. You want to just kind of spin it and then this
You
is
do all the others and then
this is pretty important. You want to do these in a star pattern instead of going around in a circle, because if you start at the bottom, it can torque the wheel. So now we're going to go to the top. Spin that one. Okay. Come over here. So not tightening all the way here. There you go. That'll get the wheel on there nice and even. And so the reason we gotta set the truck back down before we tighten them, as you can see, if I try to tighten it, it just spins the wheel. Alright, so make sure everybody's out of the way here. Gonna let the truck down. There we go. Alright, now I'm gonna get these pretty snug here.
I guess this is a lot easier at Discount Tire, huh?
Yeah, exactly. They got all the equipment for it. So, if you don't feel like you're getting it snug enough with your hands, same principle. You can use your foot again to tighten it.
Guess that's gonna be a lot easier. than trying to just...
Yep. Alright. There we go. I'm just gonna double check. Make sure everything's on there nice and tight. And then a lot of cars or trucks won't have full-size spares. So
They're going to be smaller than...
Yep. You want to take this to the tire shop as soon as possible. Get your original tire fixed. So.
And plus, it just looks weird with the spare tire on there.
Yep. So there you go. That's a change of tire.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope you learned something.
Hi, this is Tracy Boone, and I just am asking you to prayerfully consider. I want you to ask the Lord to consider becoming a partner with us. It's called the James 1:27 Partnership Program with Elijah's Path to Healing Foundation. We have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of vision ahead of us, and I am praying God is providing all of our needs. And so I just feel led to ask each and every one of you to prayerfully consider to be a part of this. We have a big vision coming to pass this next year in 2020. And I just want you to prayerfully consider it. And with that, with our partnership, you get to become a part of our daily prayer Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 7, Monday through Friday. And it's a live prayer call where I do some teaching, or I have guests on that do teaching, and we lift up your prayers personally. And lives are being changed, and people are bringing forth their prayer time together, and community is forming. And so you get to be a part of it. So again, prayerfully consider it. And I just thank you for watching. I want you to picture the day you get the call that either your husband or spouse has died. Or imagine you are a 6-year-old kid like Elijah, and one of the 2 most important people in life are no longer here. Everything changes in that moment. According to the Census Bureau, there are over 11 million widows and 19.1 million fatherless children just in this country. Research shows these families face poverty, obesity, bullying, abuse, and neglect, just to name a few. I truly believe God is asking you to unite with us around James 1:27 and help the widows and the fatherless, as Elijah and I travel in a fifth wheel around this country, partnering with faith-based equine-assisted facilitators, broadcasting our program, setting up communities to support and help these families back to life. No gift is too small. We cannot do this alone. It takes money to be able to do what we do. Thank you in advance. Sponsor a widow or fatherless child with our blanket outreach program. Become a monthly partner. Give a one-time gift. You can either text to give, go online, or make checks payable to Elijah's Path to Healing Foundation at the address below. Thank you, and God bless.
This program is brought to you by the friends and partners of Elijah's Path to Healing Foundation.